students are performing on that standard. So this is going to be here for every lesson. But then if we go into menu, resources, grade level resources, and differentiation, here are all of those activities from eSuite.
Mm-hmm.
We brought over 975 of them.
Okay.
These are going to be used with teacher discretion. We're looking at adding on some additional support pieces, but we wanted to get these into teachers' hands as quickly as possible before we go back and add in some additional supports with them. But teachers,
And that's just in there alphabetically, or how?
it is. You can search by keyword. But
You can search by standard too.
Correct. The best part with these is it's a generally no more than 10 to 15 minute mini lesson. And then you move into a practice option, which is always math boxes and a game. But in this case, the math boxes only cover whatever topic it is we're working on here. And then you have a progress monitor. So when we think about intervention, this is really, truly, true RTI. Taking what you know about your students, pulling them into smaller groups or more focused instruction, reteaching, practice opportunities, reassessment.
Can you go back through how you got into that again?
Absolutely. So you're going to go menu, resources, and then you'll click grade level resources. And then you'll click differentiation. And again, across all grade levels, we brought in 975 of these activities.
And then you can do the search up in the little,
Yep.
blue bar there, by
Yep.
keyword. Okay.
So one of the questions that came up in grades 2 and 3 after you had left, Connie, was they really liked this option. And then somebody said, oh, well, we could start printing them out and create binders. I said, no, we don't need to do that. They're all here already for you. So if that comes up.
Yeah.
Can you also, Nicole,
So I just did a search by standard just to let you guys know. So these are all the 308.7 activities.
so do those assessment differentiated option lessons, do those also show up under the reports?
Not yet.
Okay.
I don't know.
That would be a good place for them to be.
I understand.
Yeah.
I will see.
Because right now they're not sorted through in a way that it's easy for them to pick the exact lesson that they need.
Right. They do all have prerequisite skills listed in them though. So as you're
Yes,
looking at the
yes.
activity and deciding what is going to be most appropriate, all of these do at the top.
And in the reports, if you know they're reporting by standard, then
Correct.
if they know the coding of the standard, then they can search for it like Nicole just did.
Right.
By the standard coding, and then they would show up along with any other
Right. Activities from a
activities
lesson.
in the
Yep.
program that match that standard.
But you will see they do all have
Yep.
that prerequisite piece as well.
So what were you talking about, Christine, where the differentiation activities were in there already with the kids based on that you saw today?
When we pulled up the reports
Yes.
under each individual student.
That's what mine was doing this morning. I couldn't get into the drill.
Yeah.
Bring it down as far as you can. There you go. Yeah, that way. And
No, I know. It won't let me. Oh, I know where I'm going. That's my issue.
No, see, that happened to mine this morning too. Remember it froze in the grade 2, 3?
I've been in this all day. There we go. I have it. Oh, it's just off. There we go. So when you drill into a standard here, you'll see differentiation activities.
And those are just for the units, but then if you go into differentiation assets,
You'll see
Right.
all of those same components.
Right.
So these are the new ones, so the
They are
ABS
in
ones
there.
are here now.
That's, and
So
that's,
this
that's a
isn't, this
great
is an
place
update
for
then
them.
from this weekend.
Yeah.
Because these weren't here on Friday.
That's a great place for them to be. That's exactly where they should be, because then it really picks out the ones that are appropriate for the
Right.
standard that they're not passing.
Based on that child.
Correct.
Exactly.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, so
Yep.
can you go up to the top of that again? I just wanna
Sure.
see, so I'm looking at the progress report.
Yep, so now we can read that. So this is for Amy, but I can switch to any student.
Yep.
I've set the dates. I ran it for this domain, this cluster, this standard, but I can always go into the filters here and say,
It's not like, doing this whole piece and tracking the standard, you know, like,
so this one will have a little more information in it than a geometry standard, just given the way third grade's broken out. But here we go.
That's a nice piece.
It
I'm
really
glad
is.
they added them there.
Okay.
So for us to get in as administrators, to see
Mhm.
everybody without having to go and log into every grade level of the master code, we need administrative master codes.
You need a master code, and then what you're gonna do,
You need a teacher's master
Oh.
code, or you need a,
it does not even matter which grade level,
you just need a master
you just
code?
need a master code. And then
Which
you're
you
gonna,
have, right?
No, gotta get it.
Well, I mean,
I-
they're the same as the teacher's.
teacher
master
one,
code.
right, yes.
Yeah.
But then you're gonna go to, and this is probably the same thing that Laura emailed you.
Yep, it is.
That you will set up your account
Yeah.
so that you can be set up at the district level. And you'll see all the buildings then beneath you.
Okay.
Or you can set up for just your building, you know, however
Mhm.
you'd like to do it, but you'll go through these. And I'm sure that's the same file Laura sent you.
I think that'd be a good use of our time to do before we break today.
Mhm.
Unless you
Yep.
have already done that.
No, we can absolutely do that, yeah. Okay. Other questions or things we are hoping to get out of this session?
So the planners are mostly fixed.
Yes. Anyone who had stacked lessons, or whose were way off, you know, it says I'm on 512, but really I'm on 412. We were able to make those changes and make those adjustments, which means now
Is
when,
that something simple enough to do, that if that
Oh, yeah.
happens again next year, it would?
The multi-stacked lessons are the ones that cause more confusion.
and there is a quick start guide that takes you through how to fix that.
Okay.
But really, the biggest thing is you click the little snowflake, change to non-teaching day is going to move it forward. That's fine. So you can see now 312 moved here. I can change this to a teaching day, it's going to pull it back. I can extend this lesson if I start to teach it and realize, you know, we need 2 days. Those are the buttons teachers should be using most often. The move forward, move backward, you're not gonna, that's set up there for districts that are block scheduled, where you might have math only 3 days a week, but you have, you know, 2 hours or 3 hours for math, where you might be doing multiple lessons. That's really why that stacking option is there, because we're seeing more and more districts kind of get flexible with the way scheduling is working. So we wanna be able to offer both to teachers based on what they need.
So what was the issue where it wasn't sticking? Like they were saying that they would go out and go back in and then it would revert back and they would have to change it every time they went in. That's I thought what I was hearing was that they were
I don't
having
think I
problems
heard that
getting
this
it
one.
to
I did- yeah.
stay.
I didn't hear
I
that.
didn't hear that either.
Okay.
I left
Good.
the 800 tech number, support number with
Okay.
a couple teachers that if they have multiple stats, like 21 stats within a day.
Okay.
And
So just so you guys know what we're talking about when we talk about stacking.
if they say move forward,
That's what I just did. Apparently it's not gonna do it. And we apparently fixed it. No.
there you go.
Okay, so now see I have 2 lessons in one day. To fix that, you go to the day where it's stacked, you click extend, and then you click move lesson forward.
So how would they get so many on one day?
Because I try to continue moving them forward. They think if you move them forward, they use those last two buttons under the cogwheel. Move forward or move backward. If they continue to do that, it just keeps stacking it over
Yep.
and over and over again.
Oh, it doesn't slide them all.
No,
That's the change to non-teaching day and the extension.
right.
Move forward just is gonna bump, it's
One
just
day.
gonna bump it right into the next day. So now you can
It's
see I have
kind of
multiples.
confusing because it sounds like it would just move it all forward, but it really doesn't. And,
Right.
you know, I always encourage teachers to only use those first two options.
Right.
Under the cogwheel.
Yeah, that's, and I said the same thing today multiple times, just change to non-teaching day. Because really, once your planner is set up, and if you've set it up for the pacing, which is 3 to 4 lessons a week, so you're utilizing that flex day option, you should be pretty close. The only things you're gonna do, change to a non-teaching day because you now had a field trip, you had a snow day, you had something come up, or you're gonna extend because you started to teach it and realized, we just need more time on this. And because your pacing is 3 to 4 days a week, you have that time, you have that ability to do that. So, but yeah, change to non-teaching day, extend lesson. Those are the two that we should be using most often.
Did the grading piece question get answered, shifting
Mhm.
from,
So if you want to change the scale,
and you don't lose previous data?
you won't lose previous data, but let me talk a little bit about that. So you click on the little person, and you go to course settings, and now you can change your evaluation scale to a 2-point, a 4-point, or a 4-point scale with exceeds. Now if you change this, here's gonna be the only issue. The entire course is gonna be affected, but our computer system isn't gonna go in, if you in the past were just meets and not meets, it's not gonna know when you were partially or approaching. So your previous data is still gonna be in that meets, not meets. Now in 4th and 5th grade, we talked about making that scale change, but know that when you go to run reports, just set the date so that you're running your report to start today. Rather than, you can run prior data, but just, we had a long talk about just knowing that students may appear lower or higher because in the past their options were only meet or not meet. Now you've added in some middle ground categories. The nice part
But you
with,
could run the report twice, right? You could run it from September until yesterday
exactly,
and get all of that data on your students and then turn around and run it from today until the end of the year and then you'd get that and then the teachers would just collapse the two together.
exactly. And that's the other reason that I like the export feature, even though it is complex. I do like, it gives teachers more options to manipulate. So those are,
Would you still suggest for them with the differentiation to use that 5-day rotation that they used to, that was talked about
Okay.
before, where the 5th day was the day that they pulled it for?
absolutely, yeah. Yep.
So you'd still suggest
Yep.
to use that system?
Oh yeah, and that's why the planner defaults that way now, is to that Friday flex day or whatever day of the week
Whatever
you want
day
it to be.
Every 5th day.
But absolutely, that should be, because we've cut down so many lessons, with the kindergarten got bumped up a bit, but like 4th grade went from 148 to 109 lessons.
So there's plenty of time.
There's
Yeah.
plenty of time. 3 to 4 lessons a week is all you wanna do, so you have that time to pull extra small groups. You have that, because we've added in so many differentiation
So there's
resources.
no reason that we should hear people being bombarded with not keeping the pace.
Absolutely
Like, we
not.
used to hear that a lot. But
Right.
now you're telling me
Nope.
absolutely not, we should not be hearing that, and there's
Correct.
plenty of time built in, plus this 40 rotation goes in another whole day a week that they normally wouldn't have been doing.
However, in the upper grades, I would say from grade 3 on up, in the trainings that I've done out and about.
Yeah.
I have heard teachers say that I still can't get it done in an hour. And, but I think, we talked about that, and I think a lot of it is that they assumed it was going to be the same program.
Right.
And it really has made some major changes, and so it's like a new program to them. And the first year, when teachers started teaching everyday mathematics, we heard that constantly. That was